This is just, I guess, I just want to establish just on record, just so that I'm clear with what I'm thinking and what I thought and what I heard and what happened. And um, my recollection of the September 11th hearing was that the judge ordered a 30-day stay of proceedings in order that the plaintiff establish subject matter jurisdiction and personal jurisdiction over uh, of the proceedings under a federal question. So establish that the court has proper jurisdiction to rule. And there was just a recent filing that it just seems it doesn't reflect that. It's possible that that's an interpretation, that what was filed is an interpretation of that stay. You could say that because the judge ordered that I now am obligated to provide the subject matter jurisdiction before they can proceed with any hearings, that tentatively that the judge is likely to I guess rule to in favor of the motions to dismiss, because without me establishing jurisdiction, then it's then I haven't done so. I've failed to prosecute, I think is a term that's used. But it seems to me that I don't understand why this docket entry doesn't reflect the judge's order for a 30-day stay on the proceedings in which I am obligated to please, no harassment, please. Like look, the live chat is for people that are curious, or like it's not you. You're responsible for your own actions. So I'm gonna ask, just please do not, if you're here to harass or otherwise harm, insult, you can ask questions. But there's, if you have a history of harassing me, then I'm going to say you probably shouldn't type anything, because it could be construed as harassment and interfering with my civil rights. So I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm just making this video because I just want to establish that my recollection of the hearing was that a 30-day stay was placed on the case, per my failure to establish subject matter jurisdiction and personal jurisdiction. It is not my recollection that the judge tentatively, other than without me establishing subject matter jurisdiction, other than the fact that I'm required to do that, and if I don't, then I can't expect the ruling in my favor. It would just be a failure to prosecute, and that would be a dismissal likely. But it seems to misconstrue what happened. And I just want to say, as a pro se litigant, and this video is really for pro se litigants, just to I don't know. I mean, I guess I want to record and establish what I'm thinking and feeling and what happened, because it's important. It's a sacred process to engage in the justice system. It's not easy. There's a lot of things that will catch you by surprise, and it's not funny if somebody fails to prosecute. It's not funny. It's a very difficult, arduous process that requires, it requires experience. Frankly, it does require experience in order to do it. And how can you get experience without having experience? So you start there, and so you start at a major disadvantage if you're a pro se litigant with no experience. Is that until you have experience, you won't be able to draw from any experience. And some of the things that you read about the process might not register until you have experience with them, such as failing to establish subject matter jurisdiction, which I acknowledge that I did fail to establish at this juncture. However, it was not indicated at that hearing, per my recollection, that judgment one way or the other was like likely, or also it was also not my recollection that the judge said, "I'm going to make a ruling." In fact, I don't recall that. I don't recall the judge saying, "I'm going to make a ruling." I recall the judge saying, "There's a 30-day stay." That's my recollection of the hearing. In California, you have to hire your own court reporter. Now, I'm just a little confused as to what the court reporter lodged with the court. It doesn't necessarily, and I could be wrong, and I think that this is really for pro se litigants. This is as a people, we have to learn to stand up for our rights, and it's imperative. It's imperative at this time and juncture in reality. It's imperative that we learn how to advocate for ourselves, and I think part of that is just understanding the process and articulating it and recording it, and in spite of what might come your way, in terms of harassment. And I think that the harassers it's lies. It's not accurate. Like, they're there to hurt you, and they're not there for truth. Like, the people that harass me are not here to talk about what happened or what's true or what's false. They're just here merely to make me feel one way or another, per their whatever wishes. But I just, at the hearing, which was very brief, it was brief because it stalled and stopped when I failed to establish subject matter jurisdiction. And at that point, I guess to what extent, I don't know what extent I know that judges have a lot of discretion. I know that. Can I, oh my God, dude. Can you, what is this, also, I just want to establish, for the record, this is, people who are, Luciferian, this is not the people that are harassing me and that I'm in court with, so the harassers are essentially siding with the defendants, and they're using Lucifer, so Percy Lure. So there used to be an alias called Lucy Purr, and I realized, Lucifer, and it seems that there is some sort of satanic element to the I don't know if it's to something that's going on here. It seems that there's some sort of satanic, literally, and I say that with no hyperbole. I say that just based on the words, the aliases, the names, the usernames, the imagery that was invoked, and I don't know whether this neither here nor there, but I I have per my recollection I have 30 days. 30 days to amend, not amend, but to establish subject matter jurisdiction. There was just a filing on the docket that just sounded, and it's hard. It's when you're a pro se litigant, you don't really anticipate the process being deceitful, right? I mean, at least not on the part of I guess you don't think of a court reporter. You don't anticipate a court reporter would misrepresent a hearing, and yet I'm racking my brain and trying to figure out how a court reporter would lodge something with the court that doesn't reflect, in order for a stay, which is a very specific. It's a very specific order. A stay. I believe so. I believe that this is it. God, I'm so glad. I guess my eyesight is just I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't hurt people. I don't hurt people. Why? Why can't I just have a space where people who want to talk to me or engage come? Why are these people taking detours from wherever else they might be doing in order to come and this is my space. I'm entitled to talk about my story and my life. It's my recollection. It's my recordings. It's my diary. YouTube provides that. And it's just a never ending it's just never ending. I mean, the live chat, it's a valuable component to the implementation of the internet. It's a valuable component to what's the live streaming isn't just so you can just talk at people. It's a chance to interact and to sort of stimulate conversation and to sort of you don't have to agree, but it's a place where we can all obtain a better, more thorough understanding of complicated topics like the judiciary and stuff like that. And it's not funny to go and go, oh, you didn't even know how to do that. It's very complicated to file a lawsuit. It's not funny whether it goes one way or the other. It's not funny. It's not a game. And yet, without completely revoking my ability to have anyone who I might otherwise benefit from their conversation, I'm utterly vulnerable to, I guess, the crazy people who are just dark evil. I mean, they invoke Lucifer. I mean, they wanted the defendants in this case planned to see me homeless with their assaults on me. I didn't understand it was going on for months. This is a fact. This is a fact. I'm not going to forget that. It's a fact that was the plan, and establishing subject matter jurisdiction was a duty that I didn't quite get until the judge ordered the stay, which then it clicked. But first of all, Do not harass me. If you know who you are. You know who I'm. You know who you are. Stop it. You're responsible for your actions one way or the other. It's okay. So I don't know. ID loves you. ID loves you. I don't know who you are, but that's absolutely actually a very good point. It's a very very good point. That is one thing I would say from my experience so far in this is that that your reactions will be the reactivity to every little like thing that's reported can cause you more duress than any other aspect. And usually, I find that I've reacted a lot of times, and it's been disproportionate with what actually is happening. And it's that leaves you at a disadvantage. You shouldn't react. Absolutely, that is a great tip. If you are in a lawsuit, try not to be reactive. Yes, and do pray. You want to be left standing on the mountain of truth. At the end of the case, and reactions can be very painful and confuse you. And so, it's a very, very good, valuable lesson. It's very true. That's the type of thing. I mean, I don't know who wrote that. But try not to be upset. Stay calm and pray. Absolutely, that's fact. That is, stay calm and pray. That's what I would suggest to anybody if they were in a lawsuit. You will put the name. What name? Your name? I mean, what name? But that's the kind of stuff I want to hear. Like, is that that's kind of what the live chat's really there for. It's there for people to support one another and or to challenge where necessary. I just don't. I'm a little flabbergasted at what was filed on the docket just now, because it doesn't seem to reflect what happened at the hearing, and that's a bit confusing. And I've already been in contact with the Pro Se Clinic in order to fix the deficiencies. And I'm fairly confused, actually, by the I'm fairly confused by the recent docket entry. It doesn't seem. This name, I live under a bridge. I forgive you, but you've got to stop. I mean, it's not funny. It's absolutely not funny. It's not funny. To derive pleasure from the pain or to laugh at homeless people is not funny. It's I don't even know. It's completely, absolutely unacceptable on any space that I moderate or control. I think it's a bit too dark. But I mostly just want to establish this. Wait, let's see. Wait. Public posts. Public posts under the name. A public post under the name. I mean, but where's the public post? You know, you just gotta stay calm. You really do have to stay calm. If I Lucifer forever. See what is one to make of this Luciferian aspect? What is one to make of it, huh? What is one to think? What is one to think? Why Lucifer? Why, like, it's one thing to just be an asshole, but it's like to invoke Satan as though that's like, I don't even really know how to address it. Why is Lucifer involved in this? That's like a biblical like story, and it's not necessarily Lucifer is a character that's not a good guy. Basically, he's basically the bad guy. I mean, Lucifer forever is telling me that what happened didn't happen. But that's their name that they're going under. Lucifer forever. Lucifer, calm down. You need to calm down because you can never win. I mean, good always wins. You know, like the thing is that you have nothing. Like, you do live under a bridge, basically. I wish I could. I probably should start and stop because I should be able to play music. I wish that I could have my friend or good people come in here and play music, but there's a contingent. There's no way, this is not sufficient technology. It's not sufficient. It doesn't meet the standards that are required today, meaning that there should be an option that requires a person to use a verified name in order to engage in the live chat. And that's what I would choose. But that's not available. There's subscribers, nobody, or everybody. Or only approved users who I don't. I mean, then you forego any new people or people that you just don't know their username. And you forego a lot of what the internet was really meant to help us do. And I don't know. The legal process, if you want to know what it's like, read this book, The Trial by Franz Kafka. And I think it's very shocking, or not shocking, but someone with the username Lucifer Forever, who is basically siding with a person whose name is I Live Under a Bridge, is telling me that no one online attempted to make me homeless because I was homeless because I chose to attack my boyfriend. Well, one thing is I never was homeless. I had a place to stay every day. Every day. That there wasn't a day where I didn't have a place to stay. There was not a night where I did not sleep indoors. I did not sleep outside. I was not homeless. I had resources and I had people there to help me. So it's inaccurate to say that I was ever homeless. It is accurate to say that that was the goal of this group. It is also accurate to say that what was just put on the docket does not necessarily reflect my recollection of the hearings on September 11th, which were that the judge ordered a 30-day stay. 30-day stay. Those are the words, and I'm sure if I don't know if we're not allowed to record it. You're not allowed to record the hearings with any electronic devices. But does the court have? They might. The court might have hearings. Look. They did attempt. They did try to make me homeless. They did psychologically terrorize me online. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. It was witnessed by people. I witnessed it. It's not debatable. It's not debatable. It is what happened. You can. Any denials can be made, but it doesn't change the facts. But I'll say, if you're interested in what it's like to be, and it's like Lucifer. What is this? What is this Lucifer? Is that my buddy D? I think. I think I might know who that is. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They don't exist. They don't exist. They don't. I just wonder if I should play music. Whatever. It's up to me. I just, I think it's important to ask when we say who's they, like eye to eye loves you, like who are we talking about? What group of people are we even referring to, and what is their intention, and what is their who are they? What are they doing? Are they merely harassing people? I mean, are they just harassing people just because that's what? But why? Why? Why are they harassing people? It's a good question. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. I do have to master that, but at the same time, it's like I just care about. I know that not everyone's going to be able to do that, and that there's a possibility for a really good world, for us to have a really good world, and I've seen uh, and I think we need to make strides towards that and strive towards it. And it's going to take a lot of courage, and it's going to take a lot of it's a lot of ignoring, probably most likely a lot of ignoring, but also some action too. So it's sort of like it's like a system. Ignore, it's sue. Ignore, sue. Ignore, sue. Ignore, sue, and then eventually you start dwindling down the population of people that are basically, breaking civil or criminal law, and you ignore them at the same time, and so they don't grow, and slowly but surely we end up with a functioning system of people who are communicating on the internet in order to stimulate um, a good world, like a good, happy world, uh, uh, which won't be without its challenges, but it will be more measured than the world that we're in. Because right now there's a little bit of an imbalance, and I think that a lightning. I don't think that the court system should be necessarily the easiest thing, but I believe that improvements can be made, and I I would like to see that happen in my lifetime. I'm starting to think. I'm 37. What is my life going to be about? What's my legacy? Maybe nothing. Maybe nothing. But if I do have a legacy, what I want it to be. At one point I wanted it to be, like pop music. Um, and I would love for people to listen to my music down the road that I've posted and that I've performed. I'd love to do more. Uh, but if I can make the world a safer place for people that would otherwise, be contribute and kind and not always. I mean, kind. I don't. It's not a Pollyanna world, but just a bit more, a lot more just. Because it seems a bit unjust at this point. The balances are not. It's going to require more courage from people on the side of the light, basically, and it will happen. It's happening. I mean, it's clear to me. Um, it's just something that we have to do. We have to. YouTube has far too great a market share, um, uh, for them to be ignored. It's just they're too big a part of the internet, and it's not all they're doing that gave them that market share. First of all, they cultivated an image, using policies and stuff like that weren't always accurate, or being fairly doled out. Um, I guess, I gotta not react, because it's not gonna. It's a long journey ahead, and I gotta really keep that in mind, and I will. I will say, so there's a couple people like that I thought were like not like whatever, and they turned out to be like whatever. But it's true. I mean, no, yeah, dude. I mean, the harassment is like, actually, it's satanic. it's, I mean, it's satanic harassment, and it's funny. It's not funny, really. It's just absurd. It's just in a era of materialism, and when I say that, I mean, like, we're not particularly all spiritual and minded, and so we don't think of like Lucifer as actually having any sort of power or anything, right? We think of it as like a story, and so that's why I would laugh. That's why it's funny to see in action Luciferian harassment. You know, it's almost like, well, geez, I didn't. That's kind of weird. It's because it's sort of like absurd. It's an absurd. It's absurd. But it is happening, and I think YouTube is abiding a lot of it. I mean, this is a completely. It's such a beautiful looking format. For a live streamer, like except for when you get into the usernames and stuff, and like the unfettered access to sort of like uh, the live chat system, where there's no accountability. Like, I can't, like, who I can't tell who's who, really. Um, but that's okay. This is a journey, and I just gotta keep it. Like, why is this Lucifer? Okay.